political affiliation. Or the people across the street may be of a different race. Or the people down the street may have a different religious belief. So we can't be friends with them either. And that's just stupid. I mean, we're all different. Everybody's different.
Divide and conquer. It's the oldest trick in the book.
Everybody has differences of opinions and different ideas and different religions and different beliefs and different backgrounds. The point of America and what made America something better than it is now was the fact that we understood that one time. At one time, we understood that united, we grow. Okay, united we stand. Remember that from way back when? United,
is that why we're called the United States? Because we're all supposed to be united,
regardless of
melting
differences.
pot.
And we can't do that anymore because people don't want to do that anymore. People are so divided by political affiliation or religious beliefs that we can't even work together. But today we saw 3 different religious ideologies coming together and acknowledging a common threat to our country.
And in front of, like, frozen lobster at Costco. I mean, it doesn't take much. Come on.
Yeah, there is always a way for people to get along and to actually come together for a common cause, regardless. Okay? We may not all agree on everything, but we can agree that we have problems in our country. We just have to try to figure out how to solve them. And we can't solve them if nobody actually takes the time to try to solve them. And solving them isn't my way or the highway, which seems to be the way politics is these days. Solving problems that benefits everybody requires compromise and communication. And until we start doing that again, we're never going to get there. Never. We're just screwed, basically. So, until we can get that part nailed down to where we stop treating each other like crap and start treating each other like people, we're not going to be able to solve our problems. It's just not going to happen. And it's really sad that in the 21st century, we have actually regressed to the point where it's now all about political affiliation.
Well, it's really easy to be as Joe Pesci says from Lethal Weapon, the telephone tough guy. I mean, it's just really easy to be a fucking bona fide asshole to somebody on the other end of a keyboard. You're not actually dealing with them, and I think that's a big problem with this country right now.
Well, yeah.
You're not
it's
talking
because
to people.
We've separated ourselves. Instead of having interpersonal communication, which we used to have all the time, now we have online communication. And that online communication doesn't get us anywhere because it's just a bunch of people screaming, or not even screaming, but typing at each other from a distance. There's no humanity built into that. So it's real easy to dismiss somebody and call somebody names because there's no emotional impact for doing that online. You wouldn't sit there at a table at a restaurant and call somebody names. You fucking liberal, you stupid Republican, any of that kind of crap. But
somebody you don't know in a comment section of a mutual friend that you're kind of impartial with.
Oh, it's really easy to just say, you're stupid. Oh, you're a libtard and blah, blah, blah.
I think it's I think it's a stress release. I think people don't know how to deal with the anger or just an overwhelming amount of feelings that it's just really easy to lash out at somebody you don't know.
Well, it is. It really is easy to do that, especially when there's no emotional tie to it. Okay? Like I said, if you're sitting there looking face to face with somebody, you're not going to sit there and call them names. But if you're online, that same person, oh, yeah, you're going to call them all the names in the book. You're going to make fun of them. You're going to degrade them.
And then somebody calls you out for it, and you delete your comments like a wuss puss. Well, you can't do that when you're in...
Did you just say wuss puss? Really?
I did.
Wow.
Thank you, John Holmberg. I said wuss puss. But, I mean, seriously, if you're in a restaurant with somebody that you've never met and you're all of a sudden just chatting with them and you get into a heated discussion, you can't unsay something. Whereas if you're on Facebook, you can delete the entire thread. It's like,
well, you can
that's
do it
so cowardice.
Most of the people, yeah, it's cowardice. When you are getting beat up so bad on Facebook for your comments that you delete the section, that's just, it's wuss puss. I mean, I'm sorry, I have to agree with that. It's wuss puss. So, it's tough. Okay, we live in a tough world. But as long as we separate ourselves because we may not agree with each other, we're never going to be able to actually fix our world. We're never actually going to be change our world because we're all so caught up in the bullshit that we can't see the truth in front of us. But that's just, my opinion.
Our ancestors lived through wars and horrible shit, atrocities, and we're
skee-ball.
bitching about shit on fucking Facebook and, oh, you hurt my feelings. We are just so soft. Seriously, we're so soft and we're so PC.
I don't think that
it's just ridiculous.
I don't think it's that we're so soft and we're so PC. I think we just have a lot of excuses. We have a lot of ways to rationalize inaction.
But would we have those ways, or would it be so easy to justify those ways if we were doing it face-to-face with people who actually knew, as opposed to people behind a keyboard that we've never met?
Regardless, we have so many different ways to rationalize not being engaged. Online, offline, whatever. There are so many different reasons why we can come up with why I can't do this or I can't do that or this is not, instead of just realizing the idea that we're just fucking lazy and we just don't want to put ourselves out there to do it.
So wasn't it like entitled?
No, not necessarily.
You don't think that people feel like they're owed something?
No. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it has to do with people are afraid to become engaged. We have lost the ability as a society to actually stand up against those that are in power.
Bunch of wimps.
That's the way it is. I mean, we've actually just basically given up because we're afraid of what's going to happen or what will happen if we take that chance.
So what's going to happen if we don't take that chance? Why aren't we asking that fucking question?
Oh, well, a lot of people are asking that question. And we're already at that point where a lot of people are asking that question. A lot of people are standing up, and that's why we're seeing so many things going around the country right now where we have people that are protesting, people that are blocking, like the people that blocked, if it's true, they blocked Betsy DeVos from going and speaking to a school. Okay. We're starting to see people, and my fear is that we're going to be seeing a new civil war. And I don't necessarily mean that in a North versus South or violent type civil war as much as it could be an online civil war or a protester civil war, activist civil war. I don't know what you want to call it. But the only way to really engage in change now, I think, is to actually step up and throw down. That's it. I mean, that's all we can do.
And try to be productive about it. I mean, I really totally get and respect that there's a lot of people out there that are trying to do a lot of different things, but there are certain things that people, I think, are devoting a lot of time to that are, I hate to say, pointless.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing is, to you, they may be pointless. And this is one of the other things that we should talk about. Because we saw, like, in one of the groups that I'm on Facebook, there was a lady that was screaming and complaining about the fact she doesn't understand why women are protesting and why why they should be protesting and why they would want to have a day of strike or whatever.
Wait, a woman is bitching about this?
Yes. Okay. Because she doesn't agree with it and she doesn't understand it. And honestly, it's perfectly okay to not agree with it and not understand it. But that doesn't diminish the fact that many people do understand it and many people do want to participate in it.
Even if the message isn't as clear as a lot of people would want?
Well, regardless. I mean, me standing up for something I believe in may be totally opposite of what somebody else believes in. But that doesn't diminish the fact that I believe in it so much that I'm going to stand up for it.
Agreed.
So telling people that, oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand it, this is a bunch of bullshit, you shouldn't do it.
Fuck
okay,
you.
well, then you're diminishing the idea that anybody else out there that has free will that may actually understand why they're doing it, that has a reason for doing it, that has a purpose for doing it, you're diminishing their participation in the project. Okay? We don't all agree. We're all different. We all have different points of view. Just because they're different doesn't mean that they're wrong. So if somebody stands up and protests for whatever reason, saying that they shouldn't be doing that and you're embarrassed because they do that, well, you go right ahead and be embarrassed. Because you should be embarrassed because you're missing the fundamental idea that by standing up for what you believe in, you're making yourself a better person and you're making your cause just.
And you're helping people that maybe don't feel or don't know how to exercise their voice. You're actually doing a service to others.
Yeah, you're doing a service to others that agree with you. So you go right ahead and complain on Facebook about how you don't agree with this and how you think it's stupid and this, that, and the other, and you go ahead and look like you're the douchebag. Because
and why don't
you really are.
Why don't you talk about what the solution would be? Instead of bashing what other people are doing, and this just pisses me off to no extent. Instead of bashing what other people are doing and trying to tear them down because you don't agree with it, why don't you put forth a solution?
Or an effort.
Or something, but just something other than ragging on people. I mean, I don't know. I guess some people just feel better by tearing other people down.
That's the new way.
Get it?
That's just the new way. So, with that in mind, it's time for our next set of PSAs. So listen up for the next few minutes. We're going to take a little bit of a break here and listen to some PSAs. When we come back, we have no idea what the fuck we're going to talk about, but we'll figure it out. So, listen up, enjoy, etc.
Hello, my name is Scott Pryor, co-host of the internet radio show Progressive Voices of Arizona. Arizona is made up of a wide variety of individuals, all of which have many different beliefs. Sometimes those whose beliefs are different from the majority tend to be forgotten or marginalized. This is where organizations such as the Secular Coalition for Arizona can help. The Secular Coalition for Arizona is a 501c4 lobby organization that represents the Arizona non-theistic community, a vibrant and growing community of Arizonans who self-identify as atheists, agnostics, humanists, freethinkers, and other labels of personal choosing, to elected officials in and from Arizona. They mediate the relationship between the non-theistic community and elected officials, and they work to ensure that the law is never biased to the detriment and interest of Arizona's non-theists. For more information, please visit their website at www.secularaz.org.
Hello, my name is Michelle Short. Stu DeHaan and myself are co-chapter heads of the Arizona chapter of the Satanic Temple. We are trying to bring the After-School Satan Club to a school district near you. The Supreme Court ruled in 2001, in the case of Good News Club versus Milford Central School, that schools operate a limited public forum, and that, as such, they may not discriminate against religious speech should a religious organization choose to operate an after-school club on their premises. Christian evangelicals, particularly the Child Evangelism Fellowship, have taken advantage of this ruling ever since. As it is illegal for schools to discriminate against specific religions or preference others, after-school Satan clubs cannot be denied wherever Christian or any other religious clubs operate. All after-school Satan clubs are based upon a uniform syllabus that emphasizes a scientific, rationalist, non-superstitious worldview, while the twisted evangelical teachings of the Good News Clubs robs children of the innocence and enjoyment of childhood, replacing them with a negative self-image, preoccupation with sin, fear of hell, and aversion to critical thinking. After-school Satan clubs incorporate games, projects, and thinking exercises that help children understand how we know, what we know about our world and our universe. After-school Satan clubs are operated by local chapters of the Satanic Temple by volunteer members